Hello, and welcome back to the Snooze Files. Tonight, we begin a new soft-spoken series, The Boring Side of the Roman Empire. No gladiators, no emperors, no epic conquests, just daily life. Laundry, bread, and public baths. The good stuff. So if you're ready to unwind or just drift into something slow and ordinary, we'll start with a typical day in the life of a very average Roman citizen. The day began early, often just before sunrise. In a world without alarm clocks, the sound of merchants setting up or neighbors stirring in shared courtyards served as your signal to wake. Most Romans didn't sleep in beds. They had simple mats, wooden frames, or piles of cloth. Blankets were often made of wool, and indoor heating was optimistic at best. The first task? Getting dressed. Togas weren't for everyone, those were more ceremonial. Everyday folks wore tunics, just a long piece of cloth, belted at the waist. Easy, functional, kind of like the ancient world's version of sweatpants. Breakfast, if you could call it that, was light. Maybe a piece of bread dipped in olive oil, sometimes cheese, or fruit if it was in season. Romans didn't linger over breakfast, it was more of a formality than a meal. Work varied depending on your class. If you were wealthy, you might read, write, or manage business affairs. If you were a merchant, you'd head to the forum to sell goods. And if you were part of the vast working class, your day could involve anything from hauling water to tanning leather. One thing was nearly universal, though: noise. The Roman city was loud. Vendors shouted, kids ran through alleys, horses, carts, and public announcements filled the air. If you needed water, you'd visit a public fountain. Homes didn't have private plumbing unless you were very wealthy. Some families shared latrines with entire blocks. Chores were constant. Laundry wasn't washed with soap. It was cleaned with fermented urine. Yes, actual urine, collected in pots placed around the city. After work, many Romans visited the public baths. They weren't just about hygiene. They were a place to relax, gossip, and read. The bathing process was routine: warm water, then hot water, then a plunge into cold. And if you were lucky, a little oil and a strigil, an ancient scraping tool to exfoliate. Dinner was the main meal of the day. It was usually simple: bread, beans, maybe lentils or fish, occasionally meat or wine depending on status. Evenings were quiet, oil lamps glowed, people played dice or told stories, then eventually everyone returned to their mats, couches, or straw piles to sleep. And that, dear listener, is a very ordinary day in ancient Rome. No wars, no grand speeches, just bread, baths, and public laundry buckets. If your mind is starting to wander or your eyelids are growing heavy, feel free to drift off now. For more mundane mysteries and sleepy histories, subscribe to the Snooze Files and send me your suggestions. Until then, night-night, sleep tight.